And I gotta say, I mean that's the kind of shit that would get you kicked out of the dressing room back in my day.
Yeah.
You know?
One of a Kind with Rob Van Dam is recorded in front of a live studio audience.
Maddie started off too with one of these chats. Joe Hendry versus RVD. Sabu looked to find him funny. What do you think of Joe Henry?
Say his name and he appears.
The only thing I've seen with him is that the guy. Did we talk about this last week? That he put his. Tell me if we did. Otherwise, I talked. Okay, anyway, big. There's two big billboards outside of the big arena. I don't know if it's the O or whatever in London.
Okay.
What's that thing? Or the high?
Yeah. There's
anyway,
what
is it?
There's the O in London, and there's also Wembley Stadium.
So I think this was outside of the O, I believe. I just saw this somewhere. I guess a YouTube video probably that the guy paid to have his own face up there on the billboards, on two billboards outside of the O Arena, and I didn't know who the guy was, but I watched the clip because they interviewed him, and I was like, "That's kind of funny. Why would the guy do it?" And anyway, he said he asked somebody, another name I didn't know, but it was somebody that was his wrestling mentor.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, okay, I guess he's a wrestler. He asked him about it, what he thought about it, about him using his own money to put his face up there. Everybody would have to walk by the billboards and see it on their way to the front door to get in and out. And his mentor told him, I'm not sure how the business is going to look at that, but, definitely they'll say for you having the balls enough to do it, that'll stick around a lot longer than any heat or something like that. And I got to say, I mean, that's the kind of shit that would get you kicked out of the dressing room back in my day.
Yeah.
For sure. But at the same time, is it a bad idea? Self-promoting, how much bigger self-promoting can you get? But as you know, you just weren't allowed to be a mark back in the day, and that's exactly what this is. And it's like it's so funny. Every time I'd walk into the pay-per-views, walk by all the trucks, I'm like, how come there's no RVD on the side of the truck? Those guys, they're all guys they're trying to build, wishing and hoping that they'll someday be on a level that I've made it to. Fuck them. I'm here right now. Why don't they realize they got their money invested in me? And they want people to come and see me, but that's not the way they think. They think big picture. And anyway, I can just imagine pulling up with my own truck with a big TV screen, a big monitor with RVD on it, and saying, "Hey, man, I just took it out of my pay, man."
That's it, man.
I don't know about him other than that, but is this gimmick that they're putting his face everywhere, or is that just?
Yeah. So like, if you say his name, he'll appear. That's kind of his gimmick is going on. So like, if someone
like magic.
Like magic almost. So like on NXT, so he's in TNA. That's his mainstay is in TNA, but NXT has been doing like a TNA crossover, and Joe Hendry's been a big part of it. So somebody will say his name, and then on NXT, like he'll pop up on a screen or something like that. So he's been real. It's been a fun gimmick kind of thing, and apparently he does like parody songs too. And so in Britain, like he's British, I think he's British, but he's he did a song. His theme song was like hit #1 on the British charts or something like that. And so like, he's been really like catching fire. But he knows how to market himself and kind of do all this kind of thing. And I know he wrestled Kurt Angle on the indie scene before. And so it's pretty neat to kind of see him doing this. But a lot of people are curious if his gimmick though will just stay as a comedy actor, or if he'll be able to elevate himself to like a more kind of serious main event kind of role, and how he'll be able to make that transfer. If he'll be able to make both work, so to speak. So
I don't know. It seems like people like him. I'm looking in the chat room, and it seems like people think he's funny and stuff. So that's cool.
People
even
like
you talking about him, you're laughing. Your delivery. So that's cool. So good luck, John Henry. I think of John. Who's the big crazy dude? Heidenreich. When I say the name, I always think of John Heidenreich because it's HENDR and AY, and those are all in Heidenreich, I think. But
that's a good point. I never thought about it. Yeah, it's true though.
It pops in my head just because he's from my life, and this guy I don't know.
Super chats. Maddie just says, I think Rob will laugh at Sabu's reaction to Joe Hendry. So apparently there's a video of Sabu reacting to Joe Hendry. So we'll have to check that out.
Okay, so that's what he was talking about in the comment.
Yep. And
I'll ask Sabu about him too.
Ask it. If we keep saying,
what do you think about him? What do you guys think about him?
Yeah,
I guess you guys like him.
Tell us what you guys think.
Sounds like you guys like him, unless I'm mistaken.
We keep
someone to keep an eye out for, that's for sure.
That's for sure. Keep your eyes peeled. Because if we keep saying his name, he'll appear. Maddie says, if you YouTube best Joe Hendry entrance, I laugh my effing ass off. So
okay,
check that out. Oh, this is an interesting one by Maddie. Did Rob watch Mr. Ed? Please YouTube Joe Hendry, also said. Did you watch?
Did I watch Mr. Ed
as a kid? Yeah. Did you watch Mr. Ed?
Sometimes, yeah. I didn't get it regularly, but I would get it when I would visit my grandma in Detroit because we only got the 3 local channels, and then she got a couple of other channels in Detroit we didn't get. I don't remember anything about it except for the theme song, the famous Mr. Ed. That's all. I don't remember any story happening, any characters in it. I just remember the opening. So I don't know if I actually watched it or maybe I was pretty young though. I don't know.
Yeah. I remember watching it as a kid. It would be on like afternoons, I think on like Nickelodeon of all channels and stuff like that.
That's something. Yeah. I was kind of a little bit, I kind of like missed the Nickelodeon age. Like little older people, a little bit younger than me watched a lot of shit on Nickelodeon that I didn't watch. Even my friend Eric Peterson, who lived across the street, he was only like 1 grade under me. But when I go to his house, he'd watch the thing where they had the slime on it.
Yeah, you can't do that on television.
Yeah.
I remember that show. Do you know with Mr. Ed, they had to make him talk, they'd put fucking peanut butter in his mouth. And that's how they would like record him talking, quote unquote. I do also remember a scene of him, the horse playing baseball.
Yeah. It's cool how back in the day, before everything was done to death until you could digitally recreate it and make it way better than the original. But I love that about history, like in a lot of areas, but motion picture industry is and Hollywood history is a big area of my affinities. Keep saying that word tonight, but just how they, like before you knew how to do stuff and before there was experts, it's it's like, hey, how are we gonna how are we gonna on our budget, make it look like all these people are fucking like we got 1,000 people running by the camera. Well, get as many people so it's thick. Have them circle behind the camera and keep running, and boom, and then it's movie magic, Charlie Chaplin days and shit. I love that. It's yeah. And I always think it's so much simpler to understand now that we grow up in much more technological times, that I always think I could go back before there were standards and I'd be the best Tarzan. That's what I always think. Like, I'd be the best actor out of all of them when I haven't seen shit yet, like in the 30s maybe.
Yeah.